So I'll be presenting my screen now. Is the screen visible to you? Is the screen visible to you? Can you see the screen? Okay, okay. So only 22 have joined, 21 are here now. Please tell others to join first. I'll be taking attendance at random. After that, I won't be taking attendance, okay? Why only few are here? You know it's at 2 o'clock, isn't it? So I'll be taking attendance after 2 more minutes. At least 50% could have joined. Nobody is here now. Any reason why you are late? Only 28 have joined. So I'll start my class and then I'll be taking attendance soon. So, yesterday I think we just started how to read a textbook, that is, understanding textbook. So, when before going to this section, in order to understand a textbook, we have to consider the certain activities that will be done, and that is before reading the text, then while you read the text, and after reading the text. So, these are the three phases before while you are reading your textbook. That is, before you start reading, what you should do. Then, while you are reading the textbook, what is the activity that you should do? Then, after reading the textbook, what all activities you should do? So, these are the three phases. That is, before reading the text, while reading the text, and after reading the text. And during all these three phases, you have to do mainly two activities during each of these phases. That is, before reading, you have to do two activities, that is, preview and question. You have to preview first, that is, there are certain steps involved in previewing. The steps are, that is, you have to review all chapter headings and subheadings, which we are discussing constantly in comprehension also. That is, you have to go through all the chapters in the text. Instead of starting the text as such from the first chapter itself, you have to go through all the chapter headings and all the subheadings, and then you should have a glance at the pictures, charts, or graphs in each of the sections. And after that, you have to read what are the words given in bold or italic words, italicized words, and then try to understand what they mean. Then also read the chapter summary, which is given at the end of each chapter. And apart from chapter summary, there will be questions given at the end called review questions. So these are the sections that we should go through during the preview phase before reading the textbook. See, only 40 have joined, so I'll be taking attendance now. Latecomers won't be given attendance, okay? And 8 minutes past 2. Number 1, please say your attendance. Number 1. Absent. 2. Number 2. Absent. 3. Abhiram. Number 3. Absent. 4.
Present.
4. Present. Okay. Number 5.
Present.
6. Number 3. Abhiram. Abhiram, why didn't you answer when I called your name? Number 6.
Ma'am, range cut అయిపోయి.
Okay, okay. Number 6. Absent. Number 7.
Present.
Akash. Okay. Number 8.
Present.
Number 9.
Present.
Number 10.
Present, ma'am.
Number 11.
Present, ma'am.
Number 12.
Present, ma'am.
Number 13.
Present, ma'am.
14.
Present, ma'am.
15. 15 absent. 16. Absent. 17.
Present, ma'am.
18.
Present, ma'am.
19. Absent. 20.
Present, ma'am.
21.
Present, ma'am.
22.
Present, ma'am.
23.
Present, ma'am.
24. 24. Devika, absent. Then 25.
Present, ma'am.
26. Absent. 27.
Present.
Okay. 28. Number 28. Absent. 29.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. 30.
Present, ma'am.
31. Number 31. Absent. Number 32.
Present, ma'am.
Number 33. Absent. Number 34. Okay. Number 35.
Present, ma'am.
36.
Present, ma'am.
31 present ആണ്.
31 Gopika. Okay. 37. 38.
Present, ma'am.
39.
Present, ma'am.
40. Number 40. 40. Absent. 41. Nandana. Absent. 42.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. 43. Number 43. Absent. Number 44.
Present, ma'am.
45.
Present, ma'am.
46.
Present, ma'am.
47.
Present, ma'am.
48.
Present, ma'am.
49. 49. Absent. Then number 50.
Present, ma'am.
51.
Present, ma'am.
52.
Present, ma'am.
53.
Present, ma'am.
54.
Present, ma'am.
55.
Present, ma'am.
56.
Present, ma'am.
57.
Present, ma'am.
58.
Present, ma'am.
59.
Present, ma'am.
60.
Present, ma'am.
61.
Present, ma'am.
62.
Present, ma'am.
63.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. So absent is 1, 2.
Roll number 2 present.
എവിടെയായിരുന്നു നേരത്തെ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് വിളിച്ചപ്പോ ഇപ്പൊ കേറിയതാ?
സാധാരണ ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇട്ടിന്. അല്ല എനിക്ക് നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് ചെറിയ മൈക്ക് ഓൺ ആകുന്നുണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പൊ അത് ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ഇട്ടായിരുന്നു.
Number 2.
നമ്പർ 2.
Then number 6 absent. 15, 16 absent. 19 absent.
19 present.
19 present നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞില്ലല്ലോ. 24 absent. Then 20. Then 26.
Ma'am, present.
ഇതെന്താ നേരത്തെ വിളിച്ചിട്ട് കേൾക്കാവുന്നത്?
അത് കണക്ഷൻ പ്രോബ്ലം ഉണ്ട്.
എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരു റീസൺ ആണ്. Then 28 absent. Then 33 absent. 40 absent. 41 absent. 43 absent. 49 absent. അത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ. Okay. So please be on time. I'll be taking attendance at random again onwards. Okay, so before reading, we have two activities: preview and question. That is, first you have to preview through the entire textbook, looking at the chapter headings and subheadings, and looking at all the pictures, going through the italic words, going through the chapter summary, and then going through the chapter review questions given at the end of each chapter. And that is what is done in review. The next is you have to frame questions based on what you had previewed. You had previewed a lot, the pictures, headings, subheadings, chapter summary, etc. And you have to prepare questions based on all these. That is, develop a set of questions. Before reading the text itself, you have to frame questions. Usually what we do is we read the text and then we try to find out questions suitable for the text. But here you have to frame out questions based on the headings and subheadings, and then you have to find out answers from the text. So it provides, when you're going to find out answers, it gives you a focus on what you are, an aim regarding what you are reading the text. Then questions are prepared always after reviewing the text. And yeah, the most easy way to create questions is to turn the headings and subheadings into questions. Often you have to turn the headings, each main heading or each subheading will be the important points usually highlighted. So you have to turn each headings and subheadings into questions. So turn each headings and subheadings into questions, and this will help you to find out answers to these problems. So next, here it's given an example of how you can frame a question. That is, if the heading for a particular text is root cause of American Civil War, if that is the heading, then you can change that heading to a question of this form. That is, what were the root causes that led to the American Civil War? So that heading can be changed into a question. Any heading that you're given, you have to add a what or a which or how, depending on the context, and change it to a question. So headings can be changed into questions. So that is the first section. That is, before reading, you have to review the textbook and then write down the or note down the questions. And based on that question only, we will be reading the textbook. So the next section is what are the activities that you should do while reading the text. While reading the text, you have two activities. One is to reflect and another is to highlight. Now, what do you mean by this reflect? Reflect means answer the questions which you had developed earlier while previewing the text. You had developed certain questions earlier in the first phase before reading the text, and you have to answer those questions. Answering the questions is a part of reflecting what you had read before. So, and then you have to try and predict the answers to the questions and find out if they are correct. You are just trying to find out the answers to the questions which you had written down earlier. And when you are writing down these answers, you have to find out whether these answers are correct. You have to predict certain answers. That is, these are the answers that are possible, and these possibilities must be predicted. And you should check in the text whether what you had predicted is all correct. Then you have to read aloud to improve retention of information. Usually, when you read aloud, it helps us to learn things more easily. That is, whatever you are reading goes to your ears and directly to your mind. So there are certain people who often read aloud and study their chapters. So it is reading aloud will improve the retention of your information than reading in a silent mode. Then visualize information or concepts or materials that you have read, and this will make it easier to remember. So we had said about visualization earlier also. When you visualize ideas, then it will help you to read information or retain information in your mind easily. So visualize information or concepts or materials, and this will help you to remember things easily. So while reading, you have to do all these things. That is, reflect. Reflect means trying to find out answers to the questions which you had framed earlier, and predicting answers to the questions, and also reading aloud to retain information, and you have to visualize what you are reading so that it is easy to remember. Next, highlight. So after reading, you have to highlight. Now, what is highlighting? Most of us might have people as you read your textbook, you might have, most of us have a habit of underlining or marking in our textbook, isn't it? We have to we use certain highlighter pens of different colors to show important points, to show less important points, etc. Anyway, this helps us to retain information. But when you highlight important passages, see that only 20% of the passage is highlighted, because highlighting the entire passage is of no use. We have to see that only the important points are highlighted. And the theory says that normally, if you're given a paragraph, only 20% of the passage can have important. Most of the paragraph passages will have important points. So, limit your highlight, limit the marking to 20% of the entire text. So highlighting important points is another important activity that you will be doing while you are reading the textbook. That is, underline and identify important concepts. While highlighting, you have to underline and identify the important concepts first. And these important concepts, there will be questions which will be the answers to the questions which you had framed earlier. And if there are important concepts which you come across other than the questions which you had framed earlier, you have to write a Q in the margin. By the side of the text, you can write this can be a possible question. So you just write down by the side of the margin a Q, so that this is a particular question that can be asked for the exam. So whenever you come across certain important concepts which can be asked as a question, write a Q by the side, and so that later when you prepare for your exam, you just need to follow those areas where you had written this Q. So instead of reading the entire text. Okay. Also, another way is circle and note with a pencil the key terms. Most of you will do this, just we are writing it as a theory. That is, you have to, you can do your own, you can choose your own symbols to show important points and all. Either you can circle, you can underline, use different colored pens, etc. But everything, it has a meaning. So they should be, they should catch your attention soon, so that if for during exam time you needn't waste time reading the entire text. Instead, you can focus on these important points. So using a pencil, you have to write down or mark the key terms and vocabulary. Then after that, after marking, you have to write down a short definition for each of them in your notebook. So once you're reading, while you're reading, mark the important points, and whenever you come across certain important terms, write down a definition for each of those terms in your notebook, either in your notebook, or you can even write it down in the margin of your textbook. So either in your notebook, or you can write it down in the margin of your textbook. Okay. Is it clear? Mostly students, all of us, we do all these things. That is, when we read a textbook, we will be ready with a pencil and a notebook, and whenever we come across an important point, we underline that point and write it down in our notebook. This is the usual way of studying. Okay, I don't know how many of you are doing it. How many of you do that? How many of you read the text, underline, and then write down the notes? Is there anyone doing like that? No one? See, I find that the attendance had gone down to 47. Where are the others? I'll be taking attendance once more. Okay. Where are the others? See, it is for your, it's for your benefit that I'm taking. Okay. Hello. So I'm saving the screenshot. I'll be giving attendance only for those who are present till the end. Okay. While taking attendance, I found that around 56 to 58 were present. And after taking attendance, most of you had left. So I've taken the screenshot and I'll be giving attendance only for those who are present till the end. Okay. So, next is your right. The second step, you are highlighting the text, and while highlighting, you have to write down the notes. That is, you can write it in your notebook or in your margin, and then you have to convert it into a well-organized note on the back side of your corresponding class lecture note. I don't know how many of you are doing it. First of all, you have to write down the lecture notes on the front side, note down the important points, and then finally you have to create an organized note, that is the full lecture, the full definition correctly as a note on the back side of your lecture note. And I have asked you to write down the important headings, and these lecture notes will have to be submitted at the end. Okay. So you have to write down organized note on your notebook. Then make visual aids, that is including pictures, etc. can be marked in your book. So graphs or diagrams or tables can be marked in order to help you to visualize what has been read. So instead of purely writing it down as sentences, you can convert sentences into pictures or a graph, so that easily you can read what is being written. So instead of writing big sentences, divide the sentences into smaller parts, and then you can write it down as graphs or pictures. So it is a great way. The writing it down in pictorial representation is a great way for remembering things. So instead of writing it down as plain text, you can convert it into pictures. Then finally, write a brief summary of the themes and ideas of what you had read in your read from your text in your notebook, and this helps you to master the material. That is, it helps to retain information for a longer period of time. So that is these are the two activities that you should do while reading. That is, you have to reflect about the questions framed, and also you have to highlight important points and write it down as a note. And when you write it down as a note, if you use pictorial representation for representing sentences, it helps to retain information easily. Then the third phase is after reading. Now, what are you going to do after reading the text? After reading, tell someone else what you had read and what you have learned from the text. You have to tell someone else what you had read and what you had learned from the text. So explaining to someone else what you had read helps you to understand the matter in a more deeply, so that the person you are hearing may also ask us doubts, and we try to clear their doubts, so that we have to go deep into the subject matter and find out answers to those questions. So it is an important, it's the most effective way to promote mastery of the material. That is, it helps you to master the materials and improve retention. Then also another way is you can join study groups and share what you have learned with others. So that is what is done in the last. After reading, you have to recount. Recounting means telling to others or explaining to others or writing it down in your notebook in your own words what you had understood. Then another activity after reading that you can do is to review. That is, review notes and information learned by spending at least 20 to 30 minutes reciting the main points. So instead of studying the matter, you can just go through the main points for 20 to 30 minutes and spend around 10 minutes reviewing the notes every week, so that you will not forget what is being written down. So instead of learning at the end, every week you have to spend some time to read the important headings. Just spend 10 minutes for one subject to read the important headings. Likewise, all subjects should be done, and so that you will be able to retain what you had studied in the previous classes. So that is about review. Then once you review weekly, it will move information from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. So frequent revision is necessary to help you to remember things for a longer period of time. So these are the activities that you had to do after reading, that is recount and review. So before reading, you have to review and question. While reading, you have to reflect and highlight. And after reading, you have to recount and review. So these are the activities done while reading the text. Then finally, we are going to marking and underlining. Simple. What we had said earlier only. Marking, you mark the important points, and whenever someone gives you a passage and tell you to mark the important points, you will be doing an active reading process. That is, you have to find out important points, and you have to think a lot. And that is critical thinking plays an important role when you when you are asked to mark the important points in a passage. And this will help students to find out the important information, and then with a pencil in hand, students can focus on the idea behind the text, and this is a form of improving your comprehension skill and retention of the text material. And okay, while marking, they can underline not only the textbook, but articles or classroom notes, etc. Whichever material we are reading, we can underline and mark the important points. Then finally, underlining or highlighting. That is, it is used to help students to organize what they have read. That is, which is the first point, what comes next, the second point, third point, and so on, in a particular order. And that is what is given in highlighting or underlining. We can mark the order in which the important points are to be sorted. And so these are the important ways in which we can read a text. So what are the different activities that we have to do while reading a textbook? What are the different activities to be done while reading a textbook? How many phases did we discuss? How many phases? 3. Very good, Akash. Okay, what are the 3 phases? You're trying to read a textbook. I said there are 3 phases for reading. What is the first phase? Before reading. Very good. Then, next phase. One is before reading the text, what you should do. Then next phase, while reading. Okay, very good. While you're reading the text, what are the activities that you should do? Then after that, the third phase, after reading the text. Very good. You had listened to what I was saying. Very good. So before reading the text, I said 2 activities can be done. What are those activities? Before reading, we can do 2 activities. What are those activities? From this, it is understood that you are not writing down the lecture notes. Okay, Akash. Before question, we have to do 1 step. Only after doing that, we can frame questions. Before that question activity, we have to do 1 step. Only from that particular step we can frame questions. Yes, preview. Only after previewing, that is reading the headings, chapter headings and main headings and figures and all, we can frame questions. From the headings and subheadings and also from the figures, we can frame questions. So preview and question is what is done before reading. Then while reading, again 2 activities are to be done. What are those activities? while reading. This is before reading. Okay, I'll tell once more. While reading, you have to reflect and highlight. 2 points to be done, 2 activities to be done, that is reflect and highlight. Reflecting means trying to find out answers to the questions, and highlighting means marking the important points in your text, and once you have marked the important points, write it down in your notebook. Then finally, after reading, you have to recount and review. Recount means telling someone else what you had read in your own words, or writing down in your own words what you had read. And review means, reviewing means you are just revising in between. After 1 week, you take the book and read out the main points. Then again after 1 week, you are again reading the same points, and in between you have to revise the points, and that is what is meant by reviewing. Now you are not learning, but you are going through the main headings. So this will help you to retain information for a longer period of time, and that will move information from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. Okay, Akash, did you understand the activities? Hello? Okay, very good. So, any doubt in what I had said? Any doubt? Now I am getting very less response from your side. Okay, initially you used to respond well, but now nobody is responding. Girls, I don't usually get response at all from last few weeks. Okay, Akshara. So, and the last section that we covered here was marking and underlining. Okay, marking and underlining, that is, this is an active learning strategy, and if students are asked to mark and underline the important sections after giving a textbook, or given a textbook or a passage or an article, if students are asked to mark the important points, then they cannot simply do a passive reading process. They have to actively read in order to find out the important points, and while actively reading, they can mark the important points or underline the important points in the text itself, or they can write it down in a notebook. Now this is just a form of writing down the main points, is only a form of lecture notes, like they're listening and reading, listening and noting down the points. And so once you have noted the important points, you should convert it into real notes, and that's called note making. There are 2 important aspects. One is note making and note taking. But what you are noting down is note taking process, and what you are writing down in detail about each point is note making process. So that is the next section which we have to cover, that is note taking. Okay, how do you write down a note? How do you write down it neatly in your notebook? So when you are taking down the notes, you have to first find out the important points, and then after finding out the important points, you have to expand the important points in a note, as a note, and so that is note making process. Okay, is it clear to you? Okay, do you have any group email for your class? Do you have any group mail for your class? Have you created any group mail? I don't know. Okay. So it's okay. I'll ask your advice. Okay. So, any doubt in what I had said so far? If you have doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, I think I can wind up here. So now I am seeing only 49 students. I have taken the screenshot. Okay, Anurag. Okay. So I think you will be having study leave again, isn't it? So study well for your exam. Okay. So thank you.